I'm here with Ben Quick of the Pioneer Valley Riverfront Club. We are spotlighting Pioneer Valley and possibly another rowing club. Let's see who pops on, but Atlanta. We have our regular host, Ryan Worth at the Chattanooga Rowing Center and Lookout, is fully involved in the head of the hooch preparations for this weekend. So he'll be back next week, I think, with the scary stuff that we had for Halloween planned. So Ben, if you come up with any Halloween stuff, any scary things. I know you have the pterodactyl nest there on the Connecticut River.
Rowing in New England can be scary any given day of the year.
It's so true. So true. Let me get we have viewers live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then we go to podcast platforms with audio. So if we refer to a visual and you don't see it because you're on audio, we will have the link in the show notes to the visuals, and you can also go to the website for Pioneer Valley and Atlanta if you're interested in their offerings. So I'm the producer. We've been going for about a year. We're coming up on our 40th episode, I think, and it's just been a lot of fun. I'm grateful to our senior correspondents, Mark Wilson of the All-American Rowing Camps and Ryan Worth of Chattanooga Rowing Center and Lookout. And then our correspondents, Tara Morgan has been active out there with Seize the Oar and Vashon Rowing Club. Will Ruth of Strength Coach Roundtable, he's another podcaster on the Rowing Chat Network. And Reba Knickerbocker of Bend the Blade, Veronica Platzer out there in Boulder, Colorado, community rowing. Ben Booth and Michael Knowles are our coastal gurus, and we love talking with them. They're a blast. They're out there kind of they never come in the studio. They're out there with their iPhones kind of reporting from the waves, basically. I love having them on. It's so cool. And anyway, we are continuing our regular broadcasts, mostly weekly. Sometimes we miss one for holidays, but we bring the best of rowing news, interviews, gadgets and gear from clubs, companies, and rowers across the country. And Ready Row USA is a part of the International Rowing Chat Network. So you can reach all our podcasts at rowing.chat and subscribe to receive notifications of the upcoming shows. Send in news tips and join our community by visiting the website. So all the links are in our show notes. We don't abuse our subscribers. So it's just when we have an episode coming up, and it's on all aspects of rowing, from coaching to training to news to programs to the U.S. Rowing Convention. And we love to have input from our viewers and listeners. So there's where you can subscribe, rowing.chat. And first, we have a word about our fabulous sponsors. We have two this month. Or Inspired does a great mount for rowing shells that will hold a GoPro or a Garmin action camera. And it's just a wonderful piece of equipment. You kind of set it and forget it. So you can read more about that on our sponsors page, rowing.chat/sponsors. We also have, we are grateful to the Randall Airfoil people. They've invented a little glue-on piece that you put on the top of your blade to prevent, to train you from digging too deep with your oars. I suppose you still could, but it might be hard with the airfoil on it. Anyway, it's, again, they have a special, and please visit rowing.chat/sponsors. And thank you, Randall or Inspired. Now we have Ben from Ben Quick, which is like the best rowing name I know, but
I appreciate that, Charlotte. And let me just say off the top, congratulations to you for embarking on this endeavor and all the great content and guests you've managed to connect the rowing world with. It's an invaluable resource, because so often I believe, in the rowing world. We feel like we are islands operating in our own way, and sort of like, we send these messages out into the world thinking, does anyone else have this issue, this question, this challenge, this problem? So congratulations to you for helping bridge that gap. It's really great.
Yeah, thank you. I that's kind of my overriding motivation is to connect people. I just love going to little clubs. I mean, yours isn't that little, is it? Or
oh, it is. We're definitely, we think of ourselves as the little engine that could, or the caboose, depends how you what the context is. I appreciate you putting this photograph of our location. Let me just give huge props to the city where we're located, Springfield, Massachusetts, because what you're looking at is a public park. It's a city park, North River Front Park, and the boathouse is a city-owned building. It was built in 1901 as a boathouse.
No way.
On the shores of the Connecticut River in Springfield. Yeah, it was built as the Rock Rimmon Canoe and Boat Club in 1901. And at that time, there were 5 boathouses on the Connecticut River in Springfield. And if you, go into several of the boathouses in Boathouse Row, you'll see banners hanging from their rafters announcing championships from the Springfield Scholastic or the Springfield rowing events in the 1920s. So there's a long history of rowing on this stretch of river. And there used to be 5 boathouses in Springfield. Ours is the only one that still stands. Both the Great Depression and the railroad tracks that, in the inimitable wisdom of many New England cities, they sent the railroad tracks right down the shore of the river. Who would want to have any contact with the cesspool, right? That's what the history of New England.
That's what, I'm from Spokane, Washington, and I've actually rowed out there, but their club is up. The one I know of is up closer to Coeur d'Alene Lake, but the railroad tracks used to come right through downtown, and there was Skid Row, and it was just a pit, and then it's been improved now, and they don't go there because of the falls, but anyway, this is your venue. I've been there. I've been to your regatta, and it's beautiful, and you guys run it really well. So
thank you for that. It's a small event. We get about 100 entries. We're interested in growing it, but not too much. We're trying to make the claim that we brought collegiate competitive rowing back to the Connecticut River this year for the first time in maybe 30 years, because we had 2 college crews enter our regatta, which is always usually the weekend after Labor Day in September.
Yeah, that's so cool. I was actually out of town, but I rode it last year, and it was just so much fun, and the vibe was so good. It's around this, and you have steaks for first prize.
Right. We have a picture here at the end of the slideshow that I hope we get to, because we all love racing for medals, but there's nothing like racing for food.
Yeah. Right.
And as far as our rowing program, it's a small program. We have about 50 youth and about 20 masters.
Okay.
But we also have 40 dragon boaters, and we have a wonderful synchronicity with our dragon boating team. Together, we keep the boathouse sustainable and operating, and in the black, frankly. Every ED, I'm the ED of our organization. I'm not a rowing coach, but I am a rower. So my perspective is sustainability, profitability, and progress. And without our dragon boating program, our rowing program would not be nearly as robust as it is.
Right. And then do you have a pretty robust youth program too, or?
We do. I'm very proud of our youth program. There are no high school programs in our area, so we have last count 7 different high schools and middle schools feeding into our program.
Perfect.
Our first challenge is explaining what rowing is and then why kids should do it. Another one of our challenges is that we are in an urban setting, and a lot of urban kids don't learn to swim. So we are overcoming fear of water every day when we have a new set of kids.
Well, R.Shay Cooper, who's with Row New York, I have him on once in a while, and he was saying that's one of the first things they do when they go into city program, like urban youth program. They do a swimming training, or
When R.Shay visited us in Springfield, he changed lives for some of these kids, because we through various partnerships were able to get him in front of a lot of kids in a lot of different schools. And his story is incredibly moving. If anyone has not read Sugar Water, by RC Cooper. I cannot recommend it strongly enough.
Absolutely. I like read it in one night, and it was just,
yeah, right.
It took me, it was just start to finish. I just was compelled. So Sugarwater, RC Cooper, and I think there's a film coming out about his experience.
There is, yes, there is. He's in the advanced stages of that film. He's a good friend, and we're excited to see what he's come up with.
Yeah, Mary Mazzio is the producer of that film. And
so our youth run program is wonderful. It's robust. They're great fundraisers. They're great workers. They're great collaborators. And they, as many rowing clubs that have youth programs, I'm probably experienced as well. At the end of the day, we often have to kick them out. Like, kids, time to go home and do some homework, walk your pets, talk to your parents.
Did you get them off the internet today?
You're right. You can't stay at the boathouse. And we love that. We really do.
So that answers one of the questions we have. How can a small club afford equipment purchases and upgrades? So you do fundraisers frequently, or?
It takes creativity. We try to do, we have a very committed volunteer development committee, and we have 4 major events over the course of the year, each of which has a dual purpose, fundraising and awareness raising, because, as I mentioned, teaching people what we do is just as important as encouraging them to support those very activities. And the Dragon Boat Festival is our biggest fundraiser. It's an exciting event. It's gotten the entire city engaged, and every opportunity. Yeah, it's this year. It'll be June 27th, 2020.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to come out to the riverfront who would not normally be here. Yeah. And once they're here, their eyes open. They say, "Oh, we had no idea." If I had a dollar for every time someone said, "I had no idea you were here," we'd have no budgetary problems.
No,
Did I lose you, Charlotte?
All the rowing clubs along the river, the Charles River, were, they were helping with docks and, timing and stuff like that. So it was a good synergy. Yeah. Yeah.
The Boston Dragon Boat Festival is a huge event.
I know. I loved it. It was great people. But so are these pictures? I mean, if you're
these are very recent pictures of our youth rowing program. Our kids, they scull and they sweep. We've had success in both areas of our program, and we're excited. I've yet to meet a college coach who said, "Oh, come on, your kids don't scull," or "Come on, your kids don't sweep." In our experience, kids moving on, coaches love the fact that our kids scull and sweep. Although I believe that college coaches have very few expectations of anything that a youth rower may have learned in high school. I ask these kids who never want to leave the boathouse what it is they love about this place. Why are you so excited to be here? Just give me some snippets. And 9 out of 10 say it's the friendships we make, because, when you go to a high school, especially in a big city, the high school is your identity. So it's the same kids who are the varsity basketball, varsity soccer, varsity football players. But in rowing, as we all know, you can show up one year as a novice and be a varsity rower the next year, and you're making friends from places that you didn't even know existed.
And as we all know, youth rowers are future masters rowers. And what kind of a master's program do you have? And do you have boat storage and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, they're not just future masters rowers; they're also future coaches. We've been successful hiring graduated youth rowers to help coach the younger youth rowers in our community programs. We've got a great master's program. We have a few athletes who compete at the highest level, who will go to Worlds and will go to, Northeast Regionals and go to Masters Nationals, and a large contingent of masters who are new to the program, are new to rowing. And that is a big success for us, to get people in boats who didn't know what a boat was before. So we're very grateful to have indoor storage, right? The roots of our program were in A-frames on the bank of a river. But in 2011, when the city of Springfield decided to repurpose this boathouse they've owned for a long time, we were the only organization that bid for it, and we won the bid. So since then, we've had indoor storage, which we're very grateful for.
As a member of community rowing, I have to say, I bought a boat 2 years ago from Essex, and I've been on the waiting list for storage for 4 years.
Charlotte, I've got a place for you in Springfield. You want to store your boat with us? I promise you.
I would. I'm tempted.
Well, look at this water. I mean,
I know.
when people come from other programs, especially rowing coaches or people row, they look at our water and they say, wait a minute, what's the deal here? Where are all the jet skis, motorboats? Where are all the barges and the commercial traffic? And the truth is there's only about 11 miles of navigable water, and not a lot. Some of it is not very deep. So the leisure traffic we have besides rowing is minimal. Now, we are big proponents of on-water recreation, and you got to take the good with the great, right? So if jet skis are out there, it means people are on the water, not afraid of the river. I'm all about it.
Now, down there in Springfield or out there, or whatever, that casino, has that affected your traffic or whatever?
That's a great question. So MGM Springfield is going into its second year now, and they have been, I believe, a net positive for the community, for the economy, and for us. MGM Springfield, they've sponsored a few events that we've held. They have put a dragon boat team into our festival 2 years in a row. They are just great community partners. And
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah.
I think it's been a pleasant surprise for those of us who are not engaged in the gaming industry for all the good that's come of MGM Springfield.
Well, I think they kind of know what's, side their bread is buttered on too. If they have a positive experience with the community, they're
the COO shared with me very, very bluntly. He said, Ben, my interest in you is getting people to stay in Springfield longer. Any reason they have to spend the night, if it's for me or for you, it's a win-win.
It's like when I came out to Rock Rimmon, I was rowing early, so I stayed overnight at a hotel, and just like, because the old ladies have to row early, so
we want you to have the flattest water.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you put this picture up, Charlotte. There's a picture shown right now of there's actually five. There's 7 rowers, 5 rowers, 1 coxswain, 1 guy got cropped out, and these are from the UMass men's crew, which is the club program. They're up the river from us. We've had a wonderful relationship with them for many years.
Oh, cool.
Some of their rowers have coached for us. Some of their coaches have coached for us. And in this picture, they're shown holding pies, cheese, and steaks, because the prizes for the Rock Rimmon Regatta are 3rd place gets a block of cheddar cheese, 2nd place gets an apple pie donated from Big Y World Class Supermarket, and 1st place gets a steak. This year donated from Munich House Restaurant, an amazing German restaurant in nearby Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Well, I guess if you entered more than one event, you could get all 3 and have a meal.
They fed the whole crew. That's right. Well, they came in saying, hey, this is great. We're going to be cooking out. We're going to be feeding ourselves for weeks because we're the only college crew. I said, no, not so fast. And Wentworth Institute of Technology entered as well. I'm very grateful to them. They did win some 1st place. I didn't picture them.
Sweet. So you have just hired a friend of mine from Northampton as a coach, junior Nancy.
Yes, Nancy Mack. What a great person she is. She, if we had more Nancy Macks in the world, we would have fewer problems. She stepped up. She went through the training. She got her level 2 certification in U.S. rowing. She did her mentorship with one of our coaches.
Did she find her boat safety course? She was looking for that at one point when I talked to her.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
She probably did if she's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did. We try to. It's such a valuable tool, the boat safety course. Yeah,
and I met her at Reba Knickerbocker's Bend the Blade, which is also on the Connecticut River, right? But it was down in Connecticut.
In Hartford, yeah.
So
another local friend. She used to be running a program just north of us. So
right, and she's a contributor to our podcast as well. And
she has got amazing content to provide. She's got a lot of knowledge.
I know. She just really started me thinking, like, am I competitive? Am I an athlete? Those are the questions she asked at this women's masters symposium. And
Charlotte, I got to share a quick story about the pictures you got up here. This is really funny in my opinion, my humble opinion, right? So
under the bridge here,
with waning daylight hours, right? We masters and dragon boaters are going out in the water with headlights on.
I love it
because again, there's no other boat traffic happening right now, so we know the river. We know we're not going to come across any wayward boats. but there's one picture here of our masters rowing under the Memorial Bridge. And the Memorial Bridge has 4 columns on it with lights atop it. When MGM Springfield opened, they featured that bridge in their promo video.
Yeah.
At the time, only one of those 4 lights was illuminated. And it's a peeve of ours that we've been complaining about for years, saying, look, if you can't fix the other 3 lights, just unscrew the 4th one. Nobody knows that those are actually lights and not just big bulbs.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, wouldn't happen.
That's the kind of thing, like, you know, if I go past a picture on a wall, it's crooked, I have to straighten it.
Yeah. So for years we were complaining about it, and then when MGM used the bridge and they did computer graphics to illuminate all the lights in their video, we seized the moment. The door was cracked open. We pushed through it and said, Massachusetts Department of Transportation, you have to fix these lights. And you know what?
That sounds like too much. Too much fun. That is too much fun. And good selfies at night.
Yeah. Actually, I think the coxswain took this picture. And that night it was actually, it was me.
You were a coxswain. Yeah. Yeah. And then, okay. Then we were going to have someone from Atlanta Rowing Club on. So I just wanted to kind of run through a little bit of their stuff. They are one of the co-sponsors at the Head of the Hooch. I believe, you know, they and Chattanooga Rowing Center run that amazing, wonderful race where our friend Ryan, our senior correspondent Ryan Worth, is occupied today, moving boat trees, I think. They're at atlantarow.org on the Chattahoochee River. I went down to the Head of the Hooch and raced last year, and it was a wicked fast. Oh my God. Does the Connecticut ever get that fast, Ben?
It does. In the spring, the river will get very high, very fast. We had a real challenge last year getting on the water. I felt bad for our spring novices. I think they got on the water like 4 times.
This was in November. I don't know what happened. It was like a super wet fall in the South or something, and in Tennessee. And anyway, they have a beautiful spot there in Atlanta. It's a nice big club and lots of facilities. Great Learn to Row program, and we want to have them on in person to talk about it soon. But we are going to be wrapping up here. Anything else you want to say about Pioneer?
I appreciate it, Charlotte. We are excited about reaching out to veterans. It's one of our areas of growth. Active military and veterans, getting them on the water. Everyone who tells me this is a good idea says it's a great idea. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, we do that at Community Rowing, and I love volunteering for Veterans Day. And you know who I got to row with last year? Bill Beckline, who is the 1956 gold medal men's coxswain.
Wow.
1956.
Wow.
So he's sitting there right in front of me. And that was the year I was born. It was a wonderful experience.
It's a lifelong sport.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, he's just a really great guy. And I think he coaches Ringe and Latin or something, maybe out here. But thank you for being on, and
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And let's do it frequently. Anytime you have a piece of club news, send it in on our form. I know you've done that before.
Yeah.
And we love to hear from clubs. Like I say, new club is too small or too remote, too posh or too big. We like the posh clubs too. We don't just.
We love to visit them, don't we?
Yeah, we love to visit them. Yes, the cathedrals of rowing. And we also have a gadgets and gear. You had something you wanted to mention about that?
I did. I'd like to put in some props for my friends at Stroke Master Elite Rowing Training. These folks, we met them ahead of the Schuylkill this past weekend, and due to Springfield's somewhat central location, right? We're about 90 minutes from Boston, 90 minutes from Albany, 90 minutes from less than an hour from the Gold Coast, the Connecticut coast. They left 5 demo machines with us, the Stroke Masters, and their innovation is that they connect modified ergs so you can get feedback on catch timing. And the haptic response to them is cool. If you are early to the catch, the motor will crank down and you will feel a heavy oar. So their original goal, please come out, try them out.
Yeah.
We got 5 of them. Yeah,
I got my car's in the shop right now with my rack on it, but I should get it back today or tomorrow. You around this weekend, you guys?
Yeah, we are. In fact, Saturday we're doing our big fundraiser. We call it Row-a-thon. Kids are going to row 10K on the river, weather
Ooh.
permitting. And our goal is to raise $20,000. And I give huge credit to my board of directors and other supporters. They've scraped together an $8,000 match. So kids are well on their way.
Wow, I'll try and come out. I'd love to get some pictures, maybe some interviews or something for.
Oh my gosh, it'd be great. We're going to be in the water from 9 to 11. We're going to have probably 50 people in the water all at the same time.
Wonderful.
Be,
I'll add
cool.
to the chaos.
It'd be cool.
Chaos is great. Yeah. Okay. And we have our sponsors, as I mentioned, Ore Inspired and Randall Airfoils. And we appreciate your support. And if you patronize them, then we'll do even better. We'll continue to produce the podcast. Thank you so much. And we also have our hashtag. I think Ben has agreed to provide a prize.
Yes.
What
we're going to provide a swanky PVRC tank top with this logo on it. PVRC, super patriotic. Established 2007.
Let me just get a full frame there.
Yeah. So this is the
coolest shirt I've ever seen. I want one of those.
Thank you. Yeah, these are kind of SPF protection. So I've got a white tank top. You tell me, Charlotte, who I'm going to send it to. They'll get it from me directly. Deal.
Okay. Well, we wanted to announce our September winner is Michael Swain of France. He's actually, I think, we try and be fair because, but Michael is a colleague of our senior correspondent, Mark Wilson of All American Rowing Camp. And I think he was just paying attention to the podcast. And thank you, Michael. We'll figure out something cool to give you. And then our October winner, who identified the Washington College crew in our picture of the head of the Charles, which is like a pretty obscure piece of knowledge, but I think she spotted the oar pattern, is Nancy Mack.
Yay, Nancy.
She's a star on our program today. She's the greatest. Okay. And then so it's Ready Row or RRUSA Pioneer is the hashtag that you use on social media, and we'll try and track you down and let you know when we give you a prize. Yeah, when you get your tank top. I'm the producer, Charlotte Pierce. I have a publishing company, and I'm actually accepting manuscripts for innovative education and alternative education right now. Just finished a children's book. Our senior correspondent, Mark Wilson, has All American Rowing Camp, and they're heading to Portugal this month. And then I'll be going down to take their Florida rowing camp, or their DeLand, Florida rowing camp in end of December. So just about the time when we go nuts up here in Massachusetts, I'm going to be going down to row.
May see you there.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. Yeah. And then I'm going to go over to Saratoga to row coastal with Jim Henderson and the people at Saratoga.
How exciting.
So, I know it's like 3 hours away, but I think we'll have a little break in between the rowing camps. And Ryan, we miss you, and we hope to see you next week with the scary stuff. And best of luck at the head of the hooch this weekend. It's a really fun, great vibe at that regatta. And our upcoming episodes, as I said, we're going to be at the U.S. Rowing Convention. We'll be doing a couple of previews in the coming weeks. Reba Knickerbocker is going to be on to talk about her presentations there. And kind of, highlighting the Masters track, I think, not exclusively, but, it's kind of a thing that would be nice if U.S. Rowing knew how many, active Masters there are supporting clubs across the country. And we'll do more club news spotlights. Hopefully we'll get the Atlanta people on. Gadgets. We'll be doing winter camps, and then a gear and gifts for the holidays. So that'll be fun. And just many thanks to you, Ben, for being willing to come on. And I love your club.
Well, thanks. We consider you a friend and a member of PVRC. So please come anytime you can.
Well, I'll try and come Saturday for that thing. That sounds like fun. And I can get stuff for the podcast too. Thank you so much.
Bring your single. Store it with us over the winter. I'm good with that.
Ooh. Well, and then I think Jim Dietz is going to take it down to the rowing camp on his trailer. So maybe he'll probably
better yet.
There. Yeah, right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.